Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 20 of my investing journey, where I share my weekly portfolio updates, ETF buys, sells, income progress, and how I'm building an income-focused portfolio over time. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my real portfolio and documenting the journey, and hopefully you're all following along to see how well or how bad I do, depending on the week and how things are going. As you can see this week, we're a little bit lower than last week. We'll look into the details as we go through the presentation, but we've lost a couple of basis points. We were at, I believe, at 8 point something last week. We are at 7.68 this week. We're still in the green. We're still doing pretty good. So there's absolutely nothing to complain about. The portfolio is doing what it's supposed to be doing, so I'm very happy with them. So let's go into the actual presentation itself. So as every week, we added the $75 contribution, which, it's something that we're staying consistent with. We're building wealth, right? 1 week at a time. And as long as we can afford to keep on contributing $75 a week, we are going to be doing that. In terms of what we bought and what we sold this week, well, we didn't sell anything. However, we did buy 1 share of USCL, 1 share of HPYB, 1 share of CDAY, and 1 share of CCHI. Now, something happened last week. X Global released a new fund, which I believe it's called CMCL, which is a leveraged version of several of the gold, silver, uranium, gas, lithium ETFs. Now, that looked very interesting to me. As you know, I have 3 different metal portfolios. My metal sleeve is made out of CPCC, AGCL, and the other one, which I can't remember right now what the acronym is. But it's 1 for gold, 1 for silver, and 1 for copper. So I thought, you know what? If I can have one ETF that has all of those, plus has lithium, plus has gas, plus has oil, wouldn't it make more sense to invest on that instead of my current investment? So I'm waiting to see what the first distribution is. And it's also a bi-weekly distribution, which totally fits my my idea of moving towards bi-weekly payers instead of monthly payers, just to take advantage of being able to buy twice a week instead of once a month. So we'll see. I'm waiting to see what the distribution is going to be like. And then I'm going to see if it makes sense to actually sell my current holdings and then buy that particular holding. As long as my current distribution is, the average of the 3 of them is 2.83 cents. All right, so 28 cents a month. So we'll see if they are something similar or very close to, because remember, it's bi-weekly, right? So you get it twice a month. Then we'll definitely consider moving out of my current holdings in the metals, gold, silver, and copper, and then buying into CMCL. But we'll see about it. You'll find out because it will be on the presentation. In terms of income update, obviously there was no incomes this week. We are expecting income next week. So on next week's update, we'll have the second payout of the bi-weekly payers, and that will conclude the income for the entire month of May. And then we'll see how well we did in May. Okay. In terms of the portfolio performance, well, as I showed you in the very beginning, last week we were at 8.67% year to date. This week we're down 7.68, so it's 1% loss. It's not a big deal. We had a horrible Friday. I believe every single one of my holdings was red. But it moves with the news, right? It moves with what's going on in the Far East. It moves with whatever Donald Trump decides he wants to do that day. That's how the markets are going up and down. I'm not really bothered. It doesn't concern me at all. If it goes down, it's great. I buy more shares. If it goes up, all right. then I'm making growth, right? Something that an ETF covered call portfolio is not supposed to have, which is growth. That's the forbidden G word. But yeah, no, it's all over the freaking place. So I'm not not really bothered. We're still there. Good, everything's fine. In terms of my performance for last week, obviously, technology did very well. QQCL went up 1.6%, which is pretty good. KHIS had a great week, 1.28%. USCL, that's funny. QQCL and USCL went up again, 1.06. I believe, though, it's because last week, again, the NASDAQ had an amazing week, and I believe the S&P 500 had it's at its all-time highs last week. So yeah, no, it's crazy. It's a little bit scary though, because eventually everything that goes up has to come down. But I'll be ready when it comes down. Hopefully, I'll be earning more income. I'll be able to buy more shares, right? HPYE actually also went up last week 1%, which is pretty good, because HPYE and HPYB are portfolios that they don't really move very they don't have very violent moves up or down, right? They're very mate when it comes to that. They have like 0 point up, 0 point down. They've been very, very chill. So I was actually surprised to see that. In terms of what went down, well, yeah, big news there, right? But metals and commodities got crushed, major crushed, right? Gold went down like nearly 9%. Uranium went down nearly 9%. Silver went down. Silver went down 9%. Gold went down 5%. Right? So yeah, no, it was was it silver or was it gold? No, I think gold went down 9% and silver went down 5%. Yeah, that's what it was. I always think that silver will go down more, but actually in this case it was gold that actually went down more, which is like, wow. But yeah, no. What can I tell you? Again, not bother. I'm looking at that CMCL move, see if it makes sense. I noticed that CMCL, when everything else went down so much, it only went down 4%. So that's probably another good reason to have it all in one portfolio. You avoid the bigger swings of the individual portfolios. But anyways, yeah, we can clearly derive from what you see on the screen right now that after a very strong run, metals gave back a lot of the ground. And this is because money actually rotated away from these so-called safe havens and back towards risk, growth, and AI assets, right? In my mind, it looks like a very clear rotation week, as you can see, my portfolio actually felt that in a very direct way. So if we take a look at the week-to-week rankings, yeah, not looking good at all. Apart from the 5 that we have on the list that were green, which is QQCL, HHIS, USCL, HPYE, and HV, and HVGY. Everything else was actually neutral or was really down, right? With the last positions on the chart being, the metals, and amazingly enough, AMD, right, which had great weeks, 20% of the last 3-4 weeks, so he gave back 5%. So again, nothing to be concerned about. It is what it is, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. Okay. So we can see that there are a few winners and there's a couple of flat names. The broader picture is actually clearly red, right? What is the takeaway this week? Well, the takeaway this week is that this was a rotation week. All right, money moved away from commodities and metals, and it moved into AI and mega cap tech. Right? Obviously, this had a direct impact on my metal sleeve. It got hurt pretty badly, and it actually hit AMD. It actually hit AMD, right? But again, like we said, AMD after those huge back-to-back weeks, it was bound to give some of those gains, right? The good news though, because obviously there's always a silver lining to this. The good news is that my cover called "Cushion the Blow," right? Which is exactly one of the reasons why I run this portfolio. Okay. The part of the portfolio that needed to be exciting this week, just needed to be steady, was that. Okay. So, looking ahead, the big thing I'm watching right now is next week. I believe there's Nvidia earning next week on Wednesday, May the 20th, if I remember correctly. So that's something that I'm really going to look, because based on those earnings, that could have another huge impact on all these AI-related stocks, right? And that result could actually set the tone for the broader AI trade. It could absolutely ripple through the tech-leaning and leverage names on my portfolio. So it's something that I'm going to keep my eyes on. Overall, if I have to sum up this week, I would say, I had my $75. I didn't buy or sell anything. There were no distributions. I was still in the green. Covered call remained steady. And metal took the hit, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So this is it for episode 20. Please, if you like what you see, give us a like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and that will definitely help us a lot. Thank you so much, and I will see you all for next week for episode 21. Take care. Bye-bye now.